All right. We are now live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. We got some cool friends here on Spoon chatting with us. Some old friends and some new friends. Vita Hermosa is here. Welcome in, Vita. Thank you for joining us this morning. I hope that you have, I hope that you're in a good place. Vixis is just finishing up wrapping presents. What'd you get me? Would you get me? I'm partial to gift cards. So if you got me a gift card, what would you get? Where would you get it from? Let me ask that question. Bex is here. Welcome in, Bex. It's good to see you this morning. Why don't let us know? Um, Reading Central is eating from some food from Rancheritos. I'm eating a pancake in bed while listening to Christmas music and you, and having withdrawals from citalopram. Citalopram. I'm not familiar with that. Let me know. Let me know if you want about what that is. Hopefully, my tunes are not clashing with your Christmas music too much. Okay, it's an anxiety, depression medication. Okay. Withdrawals are tough. Hopefully, you are, um, hopefully you are doing it in a safe manner under supervision so that you can emerge on the other side better. So I have a poll up if you would like to participate, and let me know which you prefer. Um, do you prefer a gift card or an actual gift? If you were gonna receive a gift, would you prefer receiving a gift card, or would you like for somebody to actually think it through and decide that they know you and what you might enjoy, and wrap it up with care, and you know let me know. Beck says, nice shirt, G. um Thanks. I designed it. This, if you're looking at me on YouTube, this is actually a shirt I designed for a client. It's a design I did for a client, and I got a copy of it. Okay. Vito Moses says, I'm not supposed to be coming off, but I'm having trouble contacting my doctor. So, nope, it's unwanted and not supposed to be happening. But hey, yeah, that's tough. I feel like Bex just popped over here to be nosy, and that Bex is actually going to be engaging here on Spoon. She just want to see what she just want to do a quick fit check. I still haven't got my lighting right over here at my mom's house, so it's like I'm extra red, and I can't get like I couldn't bring my whole setup down here, so we'll figure it out. It'll be okay. You'll have to deal with me looking red. Hey, Queeds, welcome in. Good to see you this morning. We were just checking in to see which you prefer. Would you rather have a gift card or a gift? I'm not getting you either one. I'm just wondering which one you would prefer if it were to be the case that I got you one. Alexis and Noble are here. Welcome in, Alexis. and Noble. Thank you for joining us this morning. The clock is ticking on the trip. I hope that you made some meaningful progress in your preparations for your impending journey. So, a quick vote in the box. Let us know, would you prefer to have a gift or a gift card? Um, you know, let us know. There's 3 votes. If you're new here, you can just click on that little poll, um, and choose which one you would prefer. Once we get 1 or 2 more votes, I'm gonna shut it down and we'll get into our conversation. It was just something I was curious about this morning. So Vida Hermosa says that giving and receiving gifts are my love language. So you would rather have the gift. Noble says I got to pack that carry-on bag, but progress has been made. It's great to see some progress. I feel like, Noble, I want to give you updates daily, as long as you are available to listen in, just to give you updates on the progress of my game interactions with mom. So last night the game was phase 10, and it was a riveting, highly contested um, battle. And I emerged from this, uh, victorious, of course. But, she was a phase up for, she was a phase up for a few phases. And I had to, kind of buckle down, and um, I had to buckle down and keep my wits about me so that I didn't, you know. But at the end, we were both on phase 10, and I managed to eke out a victory, and I'm grateful for that. Welcome in, Britt. It's good to see you this morning. All right, we got some votes in here. Let's see. I love, Vita Hermosa says, I love giving, and if someone gives me something from their heart, it makes me feel so loved and special. Yeah. Vita says, don't run me no gift cards. Think about me. Make it thoughtful. Show me that you know me. Show me that you see me. Show me how you see me. Beck says, I can't play games with my mom because we're both Aries, so somebody's going to end up crying. They're going to come to, um, it's going to come to blows. Great, thank you so much for the like. I appreciate it. Noble Ancient says his mom taught canasta. Yeah, canasta. It's a real old timey game. Anytime a game is mentioned in a children's song, you know it's been around for a while. Thanks for the like, Brad. I appreciate it. I'm sorry I didn't see you come in. Thank you, thank you for joining us. So let's see what the poll says. So, according to our poll, 4 out of the 7 people who voted said they would prefer an actual gift. Bex and 2 others says, "Yo, run me the gift card, yo. Let me pick." Um, Bex's love language is getting exactly what it is that she wants. Oh man, yeah. Britt is the same way. He's like, "Yo, let me get the gift card, yo. I don't trust you like that. I don't trust you like that." All right. So why don't we get started with some gratitude, folks? Thank you so much. I really appreciate you for just kind of indulging my curiosity around gift giving. I just tell my family here, here's my cash app. Just send me slide it through. I'll know how you I'll know how you feel about me by how much you send me. Oh man. You know. Hey yo, it is what it is. Just a business. You know. Okay. Here we go. Good morning, warrior. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate seeing you pop in and wave. I hope that you're feeling a little bit better. Let's get into some gratitude this morning. All right. Jehovah Thinking says last time a little family member they got you something. They got you a clear backpack. Clear backpacks, man. That's just all your business out in the streets. You can't be, you can't keep nothing low key with the clear back. You might as well just have everything out in your hands. Miles Morales is here. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Let us know, what are you most grateful for right now as we get into this Tuesday session of the Morning Journal? I sure appreciate y'all. I'm always in this situation where, um, it always comes down to the wire, no matter what. We're here, we're rolling. So, Jehovah Witness says, I think I'm grateful for right now. My son is growing at a great rate, but I'm not grateful about his size. I'm kind of scared. So, for those who don't know, Britt is expecting um, and got a healthy baby growing inside at a rate which is cool, but it might increase the discomfort level come, when it's time. So I understand those mixed emotions. Estimating is going to be about 9.5 pounds. Yeah, there you go. That's what you want, right? Oh man, this big old baby. Noble Ancient is sharing some gratitude. He says, I'm sincerely grateful for rare instances and opportunities like holidays, trips, and friends like G and the others in here, my life partner Alexis. I have special gratitude for two. All right. Thank you so much, Noble. I appreciate that. Those rare instances and opportunities, those things that don't happen every day, those things that bring a new flavor to the day's adventure. It's nice to have special seasons. And it's important to try to acknowledge and appreciate those for what they are and to lean into it. I think sometimes we can get, I don't know how good you are or how engaged or deeply you go into keeping up with holiday traditions or special practices that might come up this time of year. If rituals and commemorations and those types of things are a part of your experience, sometimes we can get a little bit lax with it because, like, what's the hubbub? What's the point of going through all of that? But I do think that however you choose to do it, whether it's at Christmas, some people really do it at Halloween. They like to go through the whole thing. Um, Lean into those special days because they end up being like these touch points for our memories of our experience. They stand out, give us something to reflect on, bring people together. All those types of things are really worthwhile. So if you don't lean into these types of experiences, maybe it's not this type of time of year, it might be worth considering where can you do that? Is there a time of year? Is there a tradition that you have or that you want to create for your family or for the people around you? I think commemoration is important. The silver holiday for me, that's how Noble describes it. It's like Festivus. Hey, Frozen, welcome in. Thanks for joining us this morning. Let us know what you're most grateful for right now. One of the things I appreciate a lot, I really love it when someone comes in with a really edgy username, and this is clearly not the vibe, and then it's just weird. And they decide, well, am I going to come in here and troll, or am I going to, like, you know, be a part of the conversation? Oh, man, I love it. So Beck says, there are some things that I want to get back to this holiday season. Oh, my. So, Warrior, I'm grateful that I survived a close call at work. Ended up with a stab wound and a gunshot wound to the leg. But hey, it comes with the job, and I'm here. Wow, man. I'm so glad that you're here. Wow, that's heavy. Man. Yeah, Warrior is a police officer. So, yeah, I'm glad that yeah, I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you are okay as you are. Man, you know, Neville is here. Welcome in. Jehovah Thickness is like, wait a minute. Hey, another first responder, you know. No, I think it's okay. I think Warrior took it in the spirit that it was intended. It's fine. It's fine. We're glad to have you here, Neville. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about what we're most grateful for right now, and Warrior is, and we're all grateful. I think that you know we can probably put Warrior being safe now as something that we're all really grateful for, having learned of what you went through. So I'm wondering, for Bex was mentioning a tradition that may have stopped. When you lost your father, there were some traditions that stopped. What are some of those things? What are some of the things that you think you want to bring back now? I would love to know more about that. So, as we continue to share, we have Vida Hermosa sharing that be grateful for God and my family, friends, and everyone that has supported me and been there for me throughout all the years. Yeah, it's good to have people have people in your life who've had your back that you know that you can depend on. Um, you know, that's that's really a great thing to acknowledge. Sometimes these people serve multiple roles in our lives. Sometimes they are the source of our, you know, irritation, and we don't necessarily rest in our gratitude for them, but they also serve the role of being our deepest supporters. And it's great that we can take a step back and appreciate that role that they play. So recognizing that there's a lot of people who haven't had that type of connection and support. So it's great to acknowledge that. It's great to appreciate that. All right. So Bex is grateful for my potential. It is limitless. I'm grateful for my limitless potential. Yeah, potential, an awareness of your potential is something that's really important to come back to as a source of motivation and belief when you're feeling stuck. It's like, you know what? I see where I am right now. And I also recognize at the same time that I am uh, capable of a lot more. And I can make a commitment right now to lean into that potential. So it's nice to know that it's there. Shout out to shout out to Harley. It's feeding time. Glad to have you listening in, Harley. So circling back to Bex's comment from before about traditions that have fallen away. Um, so the family celebrated a lot of Jewish holy days when he was here, and we really don't do that anymore. So starting next year, I'm going to start observing. I appreciate that. A lot of times we don't recognize the value of some of these traditions until we notice something missing. You know, maybe I can find what I was missing through these things that I kind of let slide. So Alexis has something to share, something that they are grateful for. I'm grateful for experiences that are coming, as this is my love language. I am grateful to my Spoon family, including the amazing G, and for Harley and Noble. There's a lot of great things, great experiences coming. So it's great to have, just like when Bex was talking about potential. Um, I think that sometimes, when we experience a traumatic event, it can trigger what is called post-traumatic growth. Yes, it can trap us sometimes and freeze us in place, but it also can wake us up to our potential and make us, more open and aware of stepping into the experiences that are available to us. So I think that that's a great thing to be hopefully expectant of the things that are to come. However, it is that you got to that place, here you are, and you can move and live into that gratitude. Vito Hermosa says, I don't have kids here except for one, so all major traditions don't really happen. We do have Mexican food Christmas though, and I make my mom's enchiladas every Christmas in her memory. Yeah, I think that for several years it was my personal tradition. Once I got divorced and I was spent a lot of Christmases kind of by myself and away from family. Um, it was my personal tradition to go to the movies on Christmas Day and see, like, they always drop a movie on Christmas time. So I would say, okay, my thing that I'm going to do today is I'm going to go to the movies and just sit back and enjoy that. And I did that for several years, and it was a welcome experience for me, even though it was nothing like what I experienced growing up. It was sort of my thing that I did, um, and you know, I mean, I won't be doing it this year because I'm down here in North Carolina. Um, but you know, that was what I used to do: go to the movies. All right, we done brought food into the conversation as we always do. Enchiladas, yes indeed. All right, thank you all for sharing the things that you are um, grateful for. There's no, you know, it doesn't have to be what other people consider to be a big thing. we can seek out gratitude in all the everyday ways that we come to experience the world, in our life, and we build up a muscle of noticing, then I think that if nothing else, it gives us a sense, a greater or a deeper sense of um, well-being and possibility. So yeah, we're sharing in uh, the marvel that is movie theater popcorn. Yeah, I mean, I could take it or leave it. I mean, I like the popcorn, but it always gets caught in my teeth, and you know, it's you know, um, and don't touch your clothes, like just keep, yeah, you know. Joe Thigma says, I'm going to be making caramel candies like my Momo does. Making that, yeah, yeah. Um, so Video Moses says, are you going to take me to a movie? Uh, there's probably ways we could do uh, a watch party of some sort. I'm not going to Texas anytime soon. Um, all right. Are we ready? Let me know if we are ready to get into the next part of our conversation today. Um, drop me a heart in the chat if we're ready to get started. Peter Moses like, I like how you swerved me. All right, we got some hearts in the chat, so let's get into it. Let me see what we got here. Okay, so I think that it might seem sort of counter to the question that we just asked, but I promise that we're going to get somewhere with it, because we were talking about the things that we were grateful for. Um, and sometimes when we are in the thick of, when we were in the thick of our experience, going through challenges, sometimes there is something comes up like a desire to trade places. I don't know, one of my favorite Eddie Murphy movies from the 80s was Trading Places, him and Dan Aykroyd, and they pulled him off the street, on a bet to see if he could survive, in the world of commodities trading. Um, so, it was sort of playing on the trope of, looking at someone else's situation and then like the grass is greener there. Hey, Mo, welcome in. It's good to see you this morning. Nice that you're going to have us in the background as you get ready for, I think, what will be your last day of school before the break. Maybe. Um, Thanks for joining us. So I think that the kind of the point behind this is not necessarily about envy, and it doesn't have to necessarily be a specific person. Maybe there's someone who is in the career that you're interested in, that you want to know more about. Um, you don't necessarily have to like name the person, but maybe someone is doing something that you're curious about. What would it be like to be X? Whether that's, what would it be like to be a flight attendant? Well, I'd like to be a flight attendant for a month and see what that's like. Or maybe you want to know what it's like to be um, a baker in a small village bakery on the in a village on the Rhine River in Europe. Or maybe you want to know what it's like to be a coach for a racquetball team at a junior college in the Midwest. So, I mean, so it can be a specific person, but it doesn't have to be. So let me know. Cyber Shots is in the building. What's up, Cyber Shots? So that's the question. Let me open up the request box for you. Um, we're gonna do trading places. If you could trade places with someone for a month and to experience their lifestyle, who would that be? Maybe you want to trade places with someone to see where they get the nerve. All right. And of course, the evolved thing to say is, you know, well, I'm just happy being me. I'm happy in my life. And if you would like to answer anonymously, please feel free to do so. I don't want to put you out there. The caveat is that you do and you will come back to your life. So it's like, just for a minute, just to see. Beck says, can they be fictional? Sure. Sure. I know you're going to pick some Harry Potter character. So Britt says, I want to trade places with my twin sister so I can understand why she complains so much about her job. She annoys me. Well, you probably could do that. Y'all could probably pull that off at some point. Beck says, you don't know me, sir. I see you. Hey, everybody. Lowly Needles is in the building. How you doing today? How you doing today, Chloe? So, if you could trade places with someone for 1 month to experience their lifestyle, who would it be? Chloe is tired. Coming down that home stretch, dealing with these newfound restrictions. After you messed up at work, got it rained in a little bit. Now they working they working lowly needles, little needles to the bone right now. And now Kaloli's trying to buy herself back some freedom through the giving of gifts. Oh man. So Vida Hermosa is dodging the question as elegantly as I dodged her question. I try to put myself in other shoes, but we never really know the full extent. Justin Bieber, the president, Jesus, God, my ex, my kids, the homeless, a pastor. So by listing all those people, you are avoiding answering the question. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. I just want you to know I see what you're doing. You know. Oh man. I asked for one person and you just muddy the water with all of those. Uh, the welcome in. Nice to have you here this morning. All right. We trading places right now. So it's like, no, I'm not. I'd like to experience all of them. So here's the thing. If you read the prompt, if you read the prompt, it says someone, one, someone. Oh man. All right. Someone anonymously says, I would love to trade places with Noble Ancient and live his life for a month. I am shy and naturally Introverted. Thank you. All right. Someone wants to see what it's like to be noble for a month. Jay Floxka. Welcome in. Welcome in, Jay. Thanks for joining us this morning. Hope that you're doing well. We're talking about trading places with someone. Who would that be for you? Oh man. So Bex would trade places with Rory Gilmore, I guess of the Gilmore Girls fame. Um, I've always been envious of people that grew up in small towns. Plus, her family had that old money. I'm trying to see what that's like. Hey now, go. Want to be a Gilmore girl for a month and see what's good. Esso is here, folks. Good morning, Esso. Well, good evening. I hope that you're feeling well today. So, trading places. Everybody, if you could please put some bacon in the chat for Vita Hermosa. Just drop a little bacon in the chat. Drop a little bacon in the chat. All right. Got some more responses here. Alexis says that a dolphin or orca trainer at SeaWorld. I wanted to do it since 4 all the way up to 18, but gave up due to where I was in life. I often wonder what it would be like if I had chosen that path. Yeah. I mean, it's easy to come to the conclusion that other people or someone else is living the dream. So it would be cool. Let's see what is it like. Some people seem to show up with a lot of joy. Of course, we never really know. A lot of times, uh, it would be useful, to come to the understanding that as good as it might seem, as good as other people might seem to have it, their experience is not very different from ours. After a while, it kind of wears off. And so, thank you so much for like. I appreciate you. So, I think to some degree, we might not understand what a person's lifestyle is like, other than what we can see from the outside. We don't know what the day-to-day grind of shooting in the gym is. We just see the finish line, and we can have get caught in the trap of comparing ourselves to someone's finish line when we are not aware of the struggle, and we wouldn't want to trade the struggle that it took to get there for whatever it is that we're going. But it does give us a signal uh, as to some of the things that we might want, maybe. So, Dylan is here. Welcome in, Dylan. Thanks for joining us again. Hope that you're having a great Tuesday morning. We're talking about who you would trade places with. I think we might be wrapping up this part. We got the Unknown is back over on Twitch. Welcome in, Unknown. It's good to see you this morning. Let us know the question that we're talking about right now. We want to answer in the chat over there on Twitch is, if you could trade places with someone for a month to experience their lifestyle, who would it be? And again, it doesn't have to be a specific person. It could be, or it could be an occupation, or someone who does a thing that you find that you're curious about. All right. And Capone is in the building. good to see you this morning, Anchor Home. Um, if we're ready to go to the next prompt, we can do that. And if you just got here and you want to share who you would want to trade places with for a month, feel free to continue that in the chat. Lita is yelling G. I don't know why you're yelling my name. Um, who would I trade with? I don't think I'm gonna go into this one. So I randomly share who I would, the responses. I don't know if I'm gonna go into this. I usually go into it voluntarily, but if you ask, I don't answer. It's just part of my personality. Contrary. Um, but I guess if I had to answer, I'll answer. It's no big deal. Um, and it's really just for kind of functional reasons. I would want to trade places with uh, an editor on a a TV series, um, just because I want to learn more about, understand what that process is like. Because I do edit film, and just kind of seeing going from script to final product. I know how I go about it, but I would want to sit down with someone that's working on a long form product and see what I can learn in that experience. Beck says this is a dictatorship, obviously. So Aunt Capone says I would trade places with The Rock. Be The Rock for a month. See what that's like. Besides Swole. Esso says I'm thinking about two of my instructors from their opposite side of the field, but they always look so genuinely happy with their job. So to see that perspective, yeah, I think that it is a um, functional thing to when you're trying to make choices about the direction that you're taking in your life. If you're going looking at people who are in the field that you are pursuing to get a better understanding of what the day to day of that is. Sometimes we fall in love with the idea of being something and we have no idea. Um, we have no idea what it's actually like. So that's a useful thing. So Aunt Capone says that um, the reason that he chose Iraq is because he's well connected, well respected, and well known. That is a triple threat: well connected, well respected, well known, and coming from wrestling. I think that's the most impressive thing, the way that he's reinvented himself in all these ways. So that's a good choice. But that means that you got to be getting up early, lifting all them weights too, though. You can't be The Rock and not do rock like things. So you're gonna be up at 2 o'clock lifting weights and all that too. You can't be The Rock and hang phone. Dylan, thank you so much. I really appreciate the like. Thank you so much for that. All right. Let's get ready to go to the next prompts, folks. I thank you for sharing. Dylan shared that I would like to be a Marine on active duty for a month to see what that's like. I guess depending on the month and depending on the Marine, that could be quite an adventure. So, love that. All right, we're gonna get ready to go. Did anyone see mine? I don't see yours in the box, Noble. Maybe you glitched out. I didn't see anything from you in the request box, so you might have glitched out. Jennison Wheaton is here. Oh, you put it in the chat, so I missed it as it was going through. All right. So Noble would want to step in Fred Rogers. Fred Rogers' shoes, Mr. Rogers, for a month. So Video Hermosa is campaigning for a mutant. We're looking at, we are live right now. I really appreciate everyone. We are live right now on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, and Spoon. So we're using the request box as much as possible to answer the questions, just so I don't miss it in the flow of conversation that's going on. So I appreciate that. We're going to go to the next prompt. We are ready, I believe. Okay. And I'm so glad that Aunt Capone is here for this one, because Aunt Capone knows this side of me, I guess. Um, so the question: who are you actively rooting against? Now, of course, we are all adults, and we don't have envious. We're not haters by nature. But let's keep it real. Um, there's someone that you don't necessarily want to see win for whatever reason. It could be something petty, like just they are on a team that you don't like. It doesn't have to be like a deeply profound thing, but there's maybe someone who you, not that you want to see their downfall and demise, but maybe you don't want to see them win because maybe them winning would represent something that's distasteful to you. So, are you actively rooting against someone? Do you have a nemesis? Maybe somebody shaded you on Instagram and now everything you do is to make them mad. Are you You can answer anonymously. Mel's the polar bear is here. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Let me open up the request box. Let's see. All right. So I'll give you an example. Like my mom, and just a lot of people. I don't think my family in general, except for one person, they actively root against Tom Brady, the quarterback, formerly of the Patriots, now of the Buccaneers. They actively root against him. They just don't like. They don't. You know, um, you know, they just don't like that dude. They want to see him. They don't want to see him win, and they want to see he's done enough for whatever reason. He's won too much, and he's always smiling, and you know. Essa says, "Oh, I thought you were rooting against your mom." No, I don't root against my mom. The only time I will say, the only time that I'm rooting against my mom is when she's playing against me in something. Um, so there was a situation that came up last night when we were playing Phase 10, and she started to lay down her phase, and it wasn't right. She was missing a card, and she didn't realize it until she had laid everything out. So she had to pick all the cards back up. Um, but I saw that she could have rearranged it and still got her phase, and went ahead and advanced to the next level. But of course, I said nothing. Of course, I said nothing. I just let it be. It's not my responsibility to help you beat me. So, that might have been a decisive. I end up, um, I ended up winning the overall game, and that might have been a decisive one. So, Rizanade 420, Morty Sanchez, thank you for being here. We're talking about who you are actively rooting against, and Yeah, Vita Hermosa is above this rooted against people. You know, Jehovah's Witness is worrying about all the stuff that's going south. So the Cowboys, Rex actively roots against the Cowboys as a unit and as an idea, and Drake. Mel says games are relationship breakers. No, it's not like it's not like that. We'll be playing a game tonight, something else. Probably be playing a different game. You know, you got to have a thick skin. So, uh, Brett be showboating. Oh man! So Vito Hermosa says, I haven't been really a fan of since his beginning. Is Kanye? I don't root against him, but he needs to sit down. Well, having him sit down is kind of rooting against him. I mean, say it with your chest. You know, telling someone that they need to sit down is, and especially if they're trying to, you know, if they're trying to stand up and you're trying to get them to sit down, that's rooting against them. So someone anonymously says, I'm actively rooting against my ex. Not gonna lie, I laughed when his girlfriend cheated on him because it was the same way he cheated on me. And that's karma for you. Yeah, I think it's all anytime that someone is not being humble and you feel the need that they should be, uh, for whatever, yeah, what is it with our value in the humility of other people? Why do you think that's important to us? Why does it bother us when someone isn't, you know, when someone is loud? What bothers us about someone who is not humble? What do you think that comes from? So, so the anonymous person is talking about like that's what you get. Goes around, comes around. Oh man, Vita Hermosa um, says, "Is it true? Once a cheater, always a cheater?" Wait, Peter, be quiet. Huh? Well, once a cheater, always a cheater is the interesting thing. I think that at some point you might want to cheat always, but you might always have it in your heart. But I think at some point you go beyond the point where anybody is giving you an opportunity. It's hard to cheat when nobody don't want you. Um, and also, I think that lessons can be learned. But I don't think that it's true um, that we are static. I think that we are making choices all the time, and I think that you can smarten up. I think that you could smarten up. Nova Ancient says that evil can't win with a sincere hero on the field of battle. So I guess my answer is Captain Phantom Paradox because he thinks he's evil, and I know he isn't. Noble is in a mortal conflict, an ongoing battle with Captain Phantom and the character he shows up at the end as in here. Uh, so Dylan says maybe the aversion for people who aren't outwardly humble. And I put the word outwardly out there for a reason because any individual, it's important that any individual realizes they don't know everything and need to continually learn. I think that is, I think that outward, someone being outwardly boastful uh, and not exhibiting humility in public isn't necessarily a statement or a comment on what they're willing to learn. You know, and why do we care? Like, why do we care? Why do we care so much? I'm wondering. So everybody, take a second. Um, Drop a green heart in the chat. I think that sometimes the people that we root against is worth thinking about. Is there something about them that I secretly aspire to do? To be? You know? Are we mad at cheaters because we ain't got the heart to cheat but we want to? And we're constrained by our sense of morality. So we mad at people who are bold enough to go out and do it and who, can exist outside of the confines of their conscience and do what they want. Are we mad at people who pound their chest when they accomplish something because we are too timid to proclaim and to, be bold and be like, yeah, I did it? I don't know. I don't know. There could be any number of reasons. But if you do feel a certain, if it's like a real person in your real life, um, if it's a real person in your real life that you have an interaction with, it's different than it is. And it's like, change the subject, yo. um, you know, it's different than if it's just like a public figure that you see that you don't know that's presenting something that you are consuming. So if you have had a conflict with someone, then your feeling towards them is rooted in your experience with them. That's a little bit different. But if we're talking about people that we don't know, that we have some sort of negative reaction to, then it's worth taking into consideration. Where does that aversion come from? You know, it could be coming from a truly valid place, or it could be saying something to us about an unspoken. It could be saying something to us about something in our shadow that we haven't integrated yet. You know, mm, I don't know. Worth thinking about. So we got Warrior and Sigma back in the building. We still got some more responses. Um, so let's check them out. Who are you actively rooting against? So Dylan says, I'm actively rooting against gay conversion therapy leaders. Okay. All right. I can see that. Warriors at work. It's cool. I know you got to do your thing. I know you got to do your thing. So another thing that's kind of personal. My ex-wife, they contributed to a couple broken bones, my eating disorder, PTSD, severe anxiety. It was a toxic relationship. And I'm so glad I met Noble when I was with her. Oh, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I think that one thing that we have to kind of going back to something that Vita was talking about. Like, I'm not actively rooting against anyone. I pray for them. That's the way that to get to uh, a better place in relationship. You have to be careful who we're holding on to and what impact they're having on our experience. So Warrior is rooting against child abusers. I've seen a rise in it, and it's beyond the point of ridiculous. So you're seeing more abuse, and that's definitely something that we are all rooting against. So SO, it's personal. Say, oh my gosh, this reminded me that I really dislike this peer. He is the most disruptive, rude, obnoxious, insensitive, egotistic, attention calling, fake clown. How dare he even have? How dare he have better projects? Oh man, he's not a good person, but he's nice with it, man. Yeah. So, Warrior, I just wanted to relay a message from Aunt Capone. Aunt Capone said, "What's up?" from over on YouTube. So, I guess with SO is bringing up a very, um, it's a very interesting perspective on it. It's someone who can be extremely gifted or competent, like they can do really great work, but they are insufferable. Even teachers don't like them, but they can't deny the work that you know. Yeah, he knows it comes with that thing where I think someone brought up. I think it was Vita that brought up Kanye specifically, and his lack of humility. I think that it kind of comes with, okay, you know, I know that this is that you can't uh, deny. Like there's something undeniable about what I create. So that gives me the license to just be any old kind of way. you know. So all right. So now that we cleared the air, um, again, there's nothing wrong. If you don't want Tom Brady to win, I mean, hey, you don't want Tom Brady to win. Your reasons are your reasons. So those things are kind of inconsequential when you're talking about like famous people. But I think that the most telling thing, or the most important thing to take into consideration is the folks who are in your own personal experience that you find yourself having an antagonistic response to. What is that response doing to you? What does the real estate that they hold in your, you know, what is the real estate that they are holding in your mind? What is it worth? And are they worth even your thought from you? You know? So we got Allison listening in on Facebook. Happy belated. Hey, Allison, thanks for joining us. I don't know why you up so early, but thank you for being here. So yeah. Jaden Torres, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Welcome back. Hello. So yeah, just think about it. If you got an active sense of ill will towards anyone, whether they have personally injured you or caused you harm, or whether it's just kind of a general negative feeling that you have. Think about what that might be doing to you, and you got to decide whether they are worth it. They are worth your attention. So, all right, still got a couple more responses in here. We have Sigma saying, "I'm rooting against my weaknesses. The weakness mindsets that make us focus on the opposition so much we lose sight of the opportunity inherent in it. The other side of pain is where it is not. Oh, the The other side of pain is where it's at, not this side of the hurt. Okay. The other side of pain is where it's at, not this side of. I'm sorry, it was hard to read that for some reason. Cyber shots is here. It's leaving. It's raining like crazy in Florida. You keep dropping out. Well, I'm glad that you are. Sometimes it's a little glitchy. I hope that you're getting the thread. And thank you so much for the like. Kalina is here. What's happening? So many folks coming in. We are just getting ready to wrap up this particular prompt and get into the next part of the conversation after a few messages. So, yeah, Dylan is digging the sound. Glad that you're liking it. Chloe is like, I'm double dipping, yo. It's all good. Gloriana is here. I feel like the eyes make it seem like that's somebody I know. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Let's see. We're gonna switch to the next prompt. I think we might be ready. And Capone is saying, hey, slap that. It's 8 of y'all. It's 8 of y'all over here. Go ahead on and slap that like button. If you're listening in on YouTube, I really appreciate it. Go ahead and slap that like button real quick. Go ahead and subscribe real quick. You did? Let me get them numbers up. Once I hit 50, I'm gonna drop a video on y'all on YouTube, like a bonus stuff. I gotta incentivize you. I've learned. So we're gonna drop a video at 50. We gotta celebrate those milestones. Okay, here's the next one. Next question. What are you afraid of missing out on? That is the question. What are you afraid of missing out on? There is this thing called FOMO, right? So, is there something that you are afraid of missing out of? Someone, so Gloriana says, hey, I'm afraid of missing out on everything. I think that one of the challenges that we face sort of in our modern experience is this misconception that we could have everything anyway. So we see so much, and so much seems to be accessible, and there's so many new things that are possible that we get kind of pulled into wanting a lot of different stuff. We get influenced into, um, we get signaled into thinking that we want all these things that we see, and it's overwhelming once you realize that you have to make some hard choices. So if you're afraid of missing out on everything, just I guess one way to deal with that fear is to recognize that you're going to miss out on most of everything. You're going to miss most of it, just by definition. There's just too many things. You have to get to the place where you have to be okay. You know, I do want to acknowledge as well as we are into this next question. One of the great things about the conversations that we have here is the way that you take care of each other. So there's entire conversations that are happening in the chat that I'm not necessarily directly addressing because it might not have context for everyone, but it's a great community of folks here supporting each other, talking about, because sometimes we bring out stuff that people need a little bit more time to talk about, a little bit more space with. And I just love the fact that folks are supporting each other through the conversation, talking about the challenges of relationships and all the different ways that we have been hurt and try to get past that. So I appreciate all of you for being that to each other as we all go through this journey together. So the question, um, what are you afraid of missing out on? And Capone over on YouTube says, I'm afraid of missing out on opportunity. Yeah, opportunities. It feels like my big break is coming and I might not be ready for it. What's happening says, hey, I guess maybe you like the music. What's happening? Yeah, Noble's got your back. All right. So, Vita Hermosa is sharing. I'm afraid of missing out on the person I'm supposed to be with and my purpose. I'm afraid of missing out on the person that I'm supposed to be with and my purpose. Hmm. Yeah, it feels like a really high stakes situation. Like, we got this one experience, we got this one life here. The whole Eminem thing, you got one shot. Do not miss your chance. Um, so it seems like it's really fraught to make these choices and to know that you're on the right path and to connect with people and all the things that are wrapped up in that investment that we have in relationships. Not knowing if is this the right, you know, is this the right person? Am I doing this the right way? All the different paths that you could have taken. So Rita is afraid of missing out on next season due to injuries. So challenges, your body lets you down and restricts the things that you want to do in whatever season of life or that you are in. Feels like you can't necessarily live into your potential. So I can appreciate that. Sure. So Britt shares that I'm afraid of missing out on the important moments in my kid's life because of my crazy work schedule. I do not want to miss those precious moments. I do not want to miss those precious moments. So that's also a very um, common challenge where uh, we have to balance the needs of our family and the family time with the requirements of providing. I think that just an awareness of you know the fact that these moments are going to happen, probably the best thing that you can do is use that awareness and that desire to not miss out on them, to be more present when you are there. Because I think one of the most unfortunate things is sometimes we let the things that we can't do stop us from doing the things that we can. So, we know we want to spend time with the people who matter. And then when we are in their presence, we succumb to irritation. You know, it's easy to say, yes, yes, we know in the long term. And we know looking back, we would have wanted to have all of these great experiences together. And then in the short term, in the moment, they're getting on our nerves. And it's like, get out of my face. So, um, so that awareness of coming back to what really matters and having a good, rich perspective on that is really important to keep us from missing out. Because yes, the work is there, but making the most of the time that is available is a way to kind of counteract um, that sense of loss. So Dylan says, I'm afraid of missing out on time with family. Missing out on time with family. So mama just walked through it. I don't know if she's shushing me or what, but she came through it with the shh. G said, Clola said, so who is annoying you in your family right now? Nobody. Nobody's annoying me right now. I'm all good. What's that, mom? Oh, okay. Helena says, okay, time to get serious. I'm afraid of missing out on my 18th birthday because I'll probably be recovering from something. So, not being able to fully appreciate and enjoy the milestones that are coming up. Noble says, I'm afraid. I guess I'm afraid of missing out on learning something new or important, so I go looking for each detail I can find in the trade off. It's like, I don't want to miss a thing. He's on some um, Aerosmith, don't want to miss a thing. Just hyper focused, looking at all the details. I don't want to miss nothing. So to clarify, Kalina says I got multiple surgeries scheduled for next year, so you're not sure about what the state of your health is going to be around your 18th birthday. So, okay, I can appreciate that. All right. So Alexis is sharing that afraid to miss out on positive opportunities that allow me to grow and become my best self. Yeah, we got to see. We feel like there is this sense, it's an overwhelming sense that things are passing us by. And yeah, it's really, I think, it's a modern source of anxiety, that sense. And it's not a new thing, but I think that it's heightened by the way that we are connected and we have so much visibility into other people's experiences and we have so much of a sense of what might be possible for us that there is the kind of vague feeling of always, you know, I'm doing something right now. Should I be doing something else instead? You know? Someone anonymously shared, said, well, I probably can't say it on phone, so I'm just going to let that ride. I appreciate that. So SO says, making memories with the one in my 20s. At least it feels like I have some control over my career life or love life. Yeah, that's all luck it seems like. And I've had bad luck so far. Mm. So you want to have those adventures and those memories while you are young and somewhat carefree. That experience being able to start, um, start the journey of adulthood with someone special and have all of those things, those times together. You're afraid you're going to miss out on it. So, yeah, I guess I can appreciate that. I mean, I had to think back to my 20s. It's an interesting time. You know, Peter Hermosa, thanks for joining us. Thanks for returning. Hmm. So, Ren Sarati says, I'm afraid of not succeeding or getting married while my parents are still alive. Getting married, not not succeeding. Now, succeeding, um, that's a very broad idea. Succeeding, what does that mean exactly to you in this case? I understand the marriage and family piece, um, but you're afraid you're running out of time. Welcome in, Tree. It's nice to see you this morning or this evening. I hope that all is well. Essa says, yeah, this is a solo journey, I guess. They're missing out on watching me grow. Sucks for them. Sucks for them. Yeah, I mean, relationships are hard. And I think that they're much harder now than they were when I was in my 20s. Um, so, yeah, you see people together, like, how did that even happen? So Mo makes the interesting point, but would you grow if you were in the relationship? So, Mo has a very unique perspective of being in a relationship during, a large chunk of her 20s and then coming out of it, um, and navigating things now. So I think that's a very interesting perspective. Like, how would it change your experience to be sharing it with someone at this stage? It's hard to know. Tree, thank you so much for the like. I appreciate it. I'd hate to keep bringing up phase 10. I said I've talked about it a couple of times, to the point that it seems like it's important. It's not that it's that important, but I know that Tree also plays phase 10 with Mama Tree, and I would love to have an update about that. All right, let's see what we got here. So Bex says, I'm not afraid of missing out on nothing. Normally I would have had an answer for this, but I feel like I'm where I need to be. So it'll happen when it happens. It'll happen. I'm not missing out on nothing. I'm good. Bex like, I got it. I got it. I think it's a good, healthy place to be, feeling like you're not missing out on things. To be present with where you are, be present where you are, and not necessarily like resigned to your fate in a desperate way, but just aware that you have what you need for the journey that you're on, and that whatever happens to be missing from it, you have the resources internally to seek it out when it needs to be there. I think sometimes we spend a lot of time collecting materials, um, Rather than going on a journey, we are in a perpetual state of gathering all the things that we think we might need to go on the journey. And while it might be a little scary to go out there um, unprepared, and I don't recommend just being completely unprepared for anything, but I think that we sometimes overestimate our ability to know exactly what we need to get through the thing that's coming next. And we don't allow ourselves the privilege of the minor setback and those learning experiences that will teach us exactly what it is that we need. So that when we pursue it and when we do bring that person, place, thing into our experience, um, we are clear about the role that they're going to fill. We know enough about ourselves and we know about enough about our needs that we can make better choices. So, yeah. All right. This. So, Warrior is afraid of missing out on marriage. I lost my first love last year and can't really get past it. But the job, but with the job, I feel like someone is dating me for the aesthetic uh, more than the personality and character. So I just chill. They like the idea of dating someone like you, but they don't want to get to know you. So RIP to Creed that you lost. And I know sometimes it's like uh, it feels almost impossible to love again after losing someone such a, you know, such a permanent way. So I definitely feel that. Nix Rocks. Nix Rocks is here. Thank you. I hope that you are doing well, Nix. We're talking about what we're afraid of missing out on. And over on YouTube, Gloriana is saying that you're afraid. Sometimes you feel like you don't know yourself. So it's hard to think about what you need when you don't like know yourself. That's a very profound insight. We're constantly learning ourselves, and I think the way that we learn is through just kind of living and watching what happens. Dot has entered the chat, folks. Good morning, Dot. I hope that you are doing well. I hope that I don't know, is the semester over? Did you get all your stuff done, or not, or no? Either way, is it over? I'm glad to see you this morning, Nick. Thank you so much for the like. I really appreciate you. All right. So I think that when we feel like one of the things that makes us hard to know us is the fact that we are constantly living under the influence, right? More so than ever before, we have access to all of these different ideas and different ways of being. You know, we are naturally drawn to the idea of being fitting in. That's sort of the when you're growing up in your formative years. It's like let me not make no waves. Let me not stand out and get beat up out here for being different, or let me not get socially assassinated by a group of mean girls because I decide to step out and be myself. I think that, when we're really young, especially, it's a treacherous path to be different. And a lot of times we adapt a behavior of fitting in somewhere, even if it's not with the main group. We find somebody that we can roll with. Um, so sometimes we carry those tendencies into adulthood. And, you know, and it's not necessarily that productive. And we still are grasping for an identity. Sigler makes an interesting point. Nerves let you know that you're alive. Learn to love fear and start small. Yeah. All right. Let me make sure that we got everyone's responses. I think that a lot of times, a part of this whole process, the reason that we get together and we have these conversations is um, to create sort of a record for ourselves, of ourselves, over time, to raise our level of awareness of who we are and what we feel and what we like and what we want, independent of all the influences that are around us. So let's try to take a step in that direction. If we're ready to go to the next prompt, go ahead and drop a heart in the chat. Oh, we got one more. Before we go over, Tree added to this part of the conversation. I'm afraid of missing out of some sort kind of closure with my mom from certain events that happen. I've mentioned it before, but she always avoids it. I hope one day I can just really let it go, accept and forgive. Yeah, that is a tough one. I think that there's sometimes difficult conversations are required in order to heal the relationships that matter to us. Um, and we can only do our part. And I think that sometimes what happens is when you stop needing the closure is when you will get it. If you start with the acceptance and forgiveness, then the closure comes later. When you stop needing, it, a lot of times is when it comes. I think we get attached to things having to happen in a certain order, and it doesn't necessarily have to go down that way. Maybe you let it go, and then the conversation happens when the stakes aren't emotionally high for you. Never know. All right. Hearts in the chat, I see. So we're gonna ease into the next prompt. Is everyone doing okay? Let me know how we doing. Drop me a 1 to 10. Let me know how everybody's feeling right now. We are covering a lot of, you know, it's kind of heavy in here this morning. Sometimes it's like that. So just drop my number. Let me know where you're sitting at. Like a 6, a 5, 7, solid 4. Okay, 4. As long as that's cool. All right, we're doing okay for the most part. As long as I don't see no zeros. We've got to do the zeros. We might need to shift the direction a little bit, but I think that we're doing good. So here's the thing. This is probably going to be the last conversational prompt that we have time to get to today, but I think this is important, and it's something that we've talked about before. I think exactly 3 months ago. Exactly 3 months ago, on the 21st of September, it's the first time that we brought this prompt up. What vision have you committed to? Now, commitment is a scary thing because of this idea called opportunity cost. We have to, when we make a commitment in one area, um, it when we make a commitment in one area, it implies that you are choosing to not do something else. And a lot of times, the sense of overwhelm that we feel, in the sense that of the sense of missing out on things, is what prevents us from making a commitment and intentionally excluding the things that don't matter. So Making a commitment essentially is intentionally excluding the things that don't matter. So you're not missing out on anything. You're making a choice that I'm not worried about that. I don't, I'm not missing anything. I'm choosing something else. It's a more active and powerful way to kind of move through uh, and navigate all of those different opportunities that we're afraid of missing, the things in ourselves, that potential that we haven't tapped into. When you commit to a vision, then rather than having those things kind of sneak up on you and keep you up at night, you acknowledge that you're choosing not to do it, and you kind of take your power back in the situation. So, what vision have you committed to? And maybe you haven't made it yet. So maybe this is an aspirational prompt. Maybe this is a an invitation for you to make a choice about something and take on all that that implies for your experience. It's hard. So Aunt Capone has committed to healthy, happy living and being comfortable enough to tap into all my potential. I'm going to tap into all of my potential. That's my commitment. So Brent Bond, Ola Eshat, welcome in, folks. Thanks for joining the conversation. You're coming in the last 20 minutes or so. Still plenty of time to gain. And yeah, making a commitment to tap into your potential. We talked about that before. Bex mentioned potential being the thing that she is most grateful for. Are you willing to lean into that with all of the intermittent failures that are bound to happen as you stretch? So Essa says, interesting. I don't typically see commitment like that. When I'm passionate about what I commit to, I don't mind getting tunnel vision. Yeah, I think that there is a surrender that comes with commitment, right? It's like I'm just willing to let all that other stuff go, and it doesn't even feel like a loss. I'm focused, man. I'm just focused out here. J Man is here. Welcome in, J Man. Hope you're having a great day so far. It's nice to having you. Nick says I haven't thought about a particular commitment, but I have several in mind. Yeah, sometimes a commitment doesn't have to feel like a sacrifice. It doesn't, you know, you're making a choice, and it just is what it is. So someone anonymously shared that I try to commit to keeping my heart open and my emotions from fully becoming shut down. Yeah, I'm committed to not shutting down, staying open. Mm. Sometimes an open heart is um, the sensation of an open heart feels as dangerous as a broken one, but that's an illusion. You know, you can open a door or have someone kick it in. The results are the same, but the experience is completely different. You know, so Nix is generally saying, I guess in all, I'm just trying to improve myself, just generally improve my life. I love that. Let's see what else we got here. So Noble says, I have two visions. One is for Amherst's games to in full unlock and growth. And two is Alexis with my love, gratitude for them with great respect. I'm committed. Aspen Peterson, welcome in. Nice to have you here this morning. We're talking about the visions that we are committed to and thinking about the implications of that commitment. What does it mean? What is it going to mean for our life? Sigma says, yes, potential from each individual to then unite as a race or unite as a race. Committed to the potential from each individual to then unite as a race. Sigma adds in the chat that fear and aversion are controlling anyone who doesn't actively control them. So if you don't address your fear, it will control you. It will create boundaries that you might not prefer. It'll create a safety zone. It'll create a comfort zone that's well within the boundaries of what's safe and make you believe that if you move beyond that comfort that you are in danger when you are not. So you got to keep an eye on it. You got to try to manage it. All right. Next response we have. Warrior is committed to maintaining a stress reliever for work. It usually consists of drumming for day shift and listening to ASMR for night shift after a good workout with the punching bag. So uh, Warrior needs some ASMR. Just a little nice, quiet. I don't have nothing to tap on. I had the ice the other day. I don't know, just a little. I don't know, tapping on the carpet might be not really. Let me stop. I don't know. Do I have a future as an ASM artist? I don't know. Maybe I need to open up a second account and be an ASM artist. Video Hermosa says that staying aligned with myself. Okay. Staying aligned with myself is a vision that I'm committed to. So that implies a high level of awareness and maintaining and keeping in front of your mind the awareness of yourself. So Emma was shutting down the whole ASMR idea. You gotta have people to keep you in check. Thanks, Emma. So Beck says, uh, you're committed to the vision of me choosing myself in each present moment, the vision of me not stressing over things I can't control, the vision of me attracting good things because I'm a good person. Yeah. Let me stop worrying about stuff I can't control. Let me not do that. So Sigma is wanting to know. So staying aligned with myself was Peter Hermosa's vision there, Sigma. All right. So we have Alexis saying that completing my books, I have a queue going now. This coming year, I'm writing at least 2. So that is the vision that I am committing to. Finishing up those books. So Dot says there are a lot of things that I've committed to, but there wasn't a lot of encouragement and motivations to the things that I want to do. Relationships are a huge commitment, but I can't stay loyal because of past. So you feel like your ability to engage in relationships has been compromised by your past experience. So it's hard to lean into that commitment and that need. So Esso says, I am committed to a vision of a healthier self-love. I'm committed to sustaining sustainability and clarity to keep moving forward. Sustaining stability and clarity. Stability and clarity. Those are great. Those are key because you can be doing a whole lot and still be confused if you're not aligned, you're not clear, and if you're not doing it in a way that is healthy, that's healthy enough for you to be able to continue long enough to make it happen. I think that we are sometimes we foolishly um, pour a lot of energy and throw a lot of effort at things and don't get the results that we want because we weren't doing it in a way that embodied the level of clarity, and we weren't doing it in a way that we were able to keep going. So we fall apart before we reach the finish line. So having that clarity and that stability is really important. So Tree says, I've been committed to working on myself, less self-doubt, less overthinking, and just do whatever feels right. So you just trust those instincts. I've stopped listening to others who put me down. It's time to take control of my own life. I'm committed to doing that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Mango Main, welcome in. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate your presence here. We're talking about the vision that we've committed to as we are sort of wrapping up the conversation for today. I want to take, please feel free to continue your answers. I want to take a second to just acknowledge everyone who's here. I know the holidays are coming up, and with that being the case, there are a lot of folks who might be on a little bit of a different schedule in terms of their streaming. But I do believe that Emma is going to be following me, chasing me with Go to Work. And this might be the last Go to Work for a while. Emma is going to be getting tonsils removed here in a few days. So everyone wish Emma a speedy recovery. We're going to miss that voice for a little while, but hopefully, she'll come back better than ever. But yeah, you can chase this stream and go and check out Emma as she goes to work. Also in the chat, we have streamers. I know that Noble and Alexis are on hiatus this week because they are traveling, going out of town, but you can definitely give them a follow. Once the holiday season is over and they're back in place, you can check Noble out on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern. That's 3 p.m. Pacific for the Gamer Shop. And Alexis follows right after with live gameplay. Then Wednesdays, Alexis is live playing with Noble. Again, another live gameplay stream and a mental health stream on Thursdays. So give them a follow so that you don't miss any of that. I'm not sure what the Treehouse is up to these days. I know that Tree's YouTube channel is coming soon. And I look forward to maybe connecting with Tree over the next couple of days to get their editing situation figured out so that we can see what's going on with Tree and Mama Tree in their adventures in their garden and otherwise. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for being here. Let me just shout out everyone who is hanging out. I'll recommend Esso just shared a podcast yesterday, sort of a stream of consciousness sort of an existential rant that I mean, I'm not going to say I enjoyed listening to it. I listened to it and it was worth listening to. Some of it was painful, um, because sometimes when we're in a podcast, when we're in a live situation, you can comment right in the moment. And I missed the opportunity to be able to listen to SO's um, existential rants live so that I could participate in the conversation in the chat. But it is a worthy listen. I encourage you to check it out. Um, and also, there's a talk about the people who you admire and what you admire about them. So you can follow SO, check out the talks and the podcast, and keep your eyes open for SO time, Messy Keys, or whenever she um, chooses to kind of come and connect with us on here. Um, yeah, but we have Tree, SO, Dylan, Sigma, What's Happening, Red, Noble Ancient, Alexis, Peter Hermosa, Dot, Kaloli might be hitting us with some short jams here shortly. I feel like Kaloli's just kind of up, so we might catch a short jam here with Kaloli. Ghost Heart is here. Nix, Bex, and once again, Mo. Thank you all for being here. It's really great that you have chosen the Morning Journal as a place to help you get your day started. We're going to switch to the final prompt of the day. And let's see what that is. We're going to end the conversation with what is on your not to do list. And just try to get as many of those in as you can. What are you not going to do? Also, I want to share the well wishes from YouTube, from Retha and Capone. Well wishes for Mo on the upcoming tonsillectomy. Wishing the speedy recovery. So let me open up the box and see how many we can get in before we end the stream. Not to do. Let's do it like that. All right. Talking about what's on your not to do list. Sometimes we have a list of all these things that we want to accomplish when we would be much better served by cutting some things out. Sometimes we just need to cut it out. And we can create more space to live into more of our relevant potential. Because I think potential is really important, but it is not a unidirectional, universally positive thing. Potential can go either way. We have the potential to play ourselves, for example, and that's not necessarily good. So when we put things on our not to do list, we're talking about the things that we can we can't afford to step away from. So Rebuke TV is here. Welcome in. Thanks for joining us. We're talking about our not to do list. So for Retha, the not to do is I'm not going to give up on God and me. I'm not giving up. All right. Let's see what we got here. It's your boy Steve, real name, no gimmicks. All right. So Nick says, I'm not going to overspend on Amazon, eat junk food, procrastinate, smoke. All right. Tree says, I'm not going to cry today. I'm not crying today. That's every day. So Steve is listening on YouTube. Tree. Alexa says, I'm not going to procrastinate on packing and last minute tasks for our trip. Pure and simple. Hey, you ain't got time to procrastinate. You leave tomorrow. Yeah. Someone anonymously said, I'm not giving up on love that I seek. Not doing that today. Not today. Noble says, I am not going to worry about past or future. Vita Hermosa says, on my not to do list is not talk about my ex, not focus on the past, not entertain fear as much as I can. Yeah, that's a great list. And Capone says, I am not going to tap out. I'm not going to tap out. So these are all wonderful. We're coming down to the last 30 minutes, 30 seconds of the show. I really appreciate everyone listening on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Spoon. Thank you all for being here. Eso says, um, I'm not going to be hard on myself and escaping through sleep. I'm not going to do that. All right, folks, we'll see you tomorrow morning. Peace.